What's up guys, I'm Chirag and welcome to this video tutorial. So guys, in this tutorial I will take you through how we can use FFmpeg package or utility within Lambda function. So basically FFmpeg is a free and open source software project for handling video, audio and other multimedia files and streams, right? So guys, here we are going to create the Lambda layer for FFmpeg utility or package in order to use that package or utility within Lambda function. So guys, I'm going to use EC2 instance for creating the package, but you can use your local system or the Docker container if you want, right? So here we are going to start with the creation of IAM role for EC2 instance for S3 access. So log in into the AWS management console, navigate to IAM management console. Now once you are there, click on roles from the left panel and say create role. Now here select EC2 as a service because we are creating this role for the EC2 instance. Say next permission. Now here we want to give permission for S3, right? So we will search for S3 and we will select Amazon S3 full access. Say next tags, review, give it a role name. I will say EC2-FFmpeg-S3 and say create role. So the reason that we are creating this role and giving the S3 access is that we will create the Lambda layer package within EC2 instance and then we need to upload that package to the S3 bucket. Hence the instance should have the permission to upload a file on S3, right? So that's the reason we have created this role. Now since we have the IAM role, we will spin up an instance. So click on services, navigate to EC2 management console, and once you are there, click on launch instance. Now here we will select Ubuntu server 20.04, select. Within instance type, we will say t2.micro, say next, configure instance details. Now in step 3, look for IAM role and select the IAM role that we have just created. So in my case, it's EC2 FFmpeg S3. Say next, add storage. We will leave it as it is. Say next, add tags, add a tag if you want. Configure security group. I will select an existing security group. Maybe I will say delete lambda EFS. Since we only need access to port 22, so we need port 22 to SSH or log in into an instance, right? So say review and launch, and finally say launch. I will select choose an existing key pair since I have this key pair, but if you don't have one, then please go ahead and create a new key pair and download that and then launch an instance. Now the instance is in pending state. Let's wait till it is in running state. Now the instance is in running state. So we are going to select this instance and copy the public IPv4 address. And we will navigate to terminal and we will say ssh-i, which stands for identity file. And my identity file is flash.pem, followed by the username of the server, that is Ubuntu, @ the public IP address that we have copied, and say enter. Say yes. And here we have successfully logged in into the EC2 instance. So let me clear this. Now the very first command that we are going to run is sudo apt get update. Say enter. Now we have the updates. Now the next step is to install the required packages that we are going to use within the EC2 instance, right? So we will require two packages, that is AWS CLI to upload the package or the zip file to the S3 bucket. And then we will require zip to create the compress file or the zip file of that package, right? So I will say clear and I will say sudo apt get install zip. Enter. Yes. And the zip package is installed successfully. Now we will install AWS CLI. That is sudo apt install AWS CLI. Yes. Now the AWS CLI is successfully installed. So let me clear this. Now here we are going to use static build of FFmpeg package, right? So basically a static build is a binary with all the libs included inside that binary itself, right? So we are going to download that static build of FFmpeg, and that is something we are going to use and create the package and leverage it as a lambda layer and use it in lambda function. Now to get the static build of FFmpeg package, we need to navigate to ffmpeg.org. Now once you are there, click on download. We will select Linux, right? Because we want that package for Linux, and then we also have option for Windows and Mac. So select the first one, and under Linux static builds, click on this link. Now here we have two options, that is Git master and release 4.3.1. And now if you look at this note, then it says it's highly recommended to use Git master builds because bug fixes and other improvements are added daily, right? So we will move on with Git master, right? And we are going to download git amd64 static.tar.xz, right? So right click on this, say copy link address and navigate to terminal. Now here we are going to create a directory. We will say mkdir build. We will say cd build. And within this build directory, we will say wget and paste that URL. Say enter. Now the package is being downloaded successfully. If I say ls, then we have this tar file. Now we need to untar this. So clear. I will say tar-xf followed by the file that we have downloaded. Say enter. Now as you can see, we have the directory, right? Now I can say cd ffmpeg git and followed by the whatever the directory is, say ls. And now here we have ffmpeg, that is basically the static build, right? And then we also have ffprobe and qt-fast start. So basically ffprobe is used to gather information from multimedia streams, and it basically prints it in human and machine readable fashion, right? But at this point of time, we only need ffmpeg, right? Now let me do cd ... say clear. Now here I am going to create another directory, that is mkdir ffmpeg lib, or it can be anything, right? You can name it whatever you want. So in my case, I have named it as ffmpeg lib. Say enter. Now this is going to be our package directory, right? That is ffmpeg lib, that is for lambda layers. Now what we are going to do is we are going to say copy what we want to copy, that is ffmpeg static build. So I will say copy from this directory slash ffmpeg to ffmpeg lib directory, okay? And I will say enter. Now the file is copied successfully. Let's have a look. cd ffmpeg lib. I know there is a lot of confusion in ffmpeg, right? But bear with me. So here we have this static build of ffmpeg within this ffmpeg lib directory, right? And we are all done. So what I will do is I will do cd ... I'll say ls. I'm going to remove all the files saying rm-r followed by this file, that is tar file, and then I will say rm-r and I will remove this directory. Now we don't need this, okay, just to avoid the confusion. Now we have only one directory, that is ffmpeg lib, and within that we have the static build of the same, right? Now the next step is to create this zip package, right? So what we will do is, that is zip -r, name of the package, I will say ffmpeg.zip, and what I want to zip, that is the current directory. Say enter. Now the zip file is created. If I do ls, then we have ffmpeg.zip. Now we are going to upload the zip file to the S3 bucket. So I will say AWS S3 copy what I want to copy, that is ffmpeg.zip, where I want to copy, that is to S3 bucket, that is S3 colon // followed by the bucket name. So I'm going to upload this zip file to the bucket called recognite, right? I'm going to upload it over here. So before uploading, let me navigate to S3 management console. Let me search for recognite. Here it is. Sort by last modified. And I'm going to upload that zip file over here. So let me press enter. Now the file is uploaded successfully. So if I go ahead and reload this, then we will see the FFmpeg.zip file, correct? Now the next step is to create the lambda layer, right? So click on services, navigate to lambda management console. And once you are there, click on layers under additional resources and say create layer. Give the layer name. I will say FFmpeg. I will say upload a file from Amazon S3. Now navigate to S3 management console, click on this file and copy this object URL. So copy this, go back to lambda layer, paste it over here, select the compatible runtime. I will say Python 3.8, say create. And the lambda layer package, that is FFmpeg, is created successfully. Now the next step is to create the lambda function, but before that we need to create the IAM role for the lambda function, right? So click on services again, navigate to IAM management console, and once you are there, click on roles from the left panel, say create role, select lambda as a service because we are creating this role for the lambda function, say next permission. And here we are going to attach AWS lambda execute, that is this one. So this will basically give access to S3 bucket, that is put and get access, and full access to CloudWatch logs, right? So select this, say next tags, next review, give a role name. I will say FFmpeg -lambda -role, say create role. Now the role is created successfully. Go back to lambda management console, click on functions from the left panel, say create function, give a function name. I will say FFmpeg demo, something like this. Select runtime as Python 3.8. Within permission, select use an existing role and select the role that we have just created, that is FFmpeg lambda role in my case, and say create function. Now here we have created the function successfully. Now within designer pane, click on layers, say add a layer, select custom layers. Within custom layer, select FFmpeg, select the version, that is version 1, and say add. Now here we have successfully added the lambda layer, right? Now to test this, what we are going to do is we will say import OS, and here within function we will say os.system, that is going to be the /opd/ffmpeg-lib, that is the directory that we have created, /ffmpeg, right? Save this, say deploy. Now if everything is configured successfully and properly, then this will not throw an error, right? So let's have a look. Say test, create the test event. I will say t create, say test again, and it ran successfully. If I look at the details, then here it is, right? FFmpeg version and all the information, right? This is how it looks like, right? Now let's see, let me click on layers, say edit, select this layer and remove this, say save. Now if I go ahead and click on test, then it will throw an exception. So basically not an exception, but the lambda function ran successfully, but that FFmpeg is not loaded, right? So exception in terms of FFmpeg, right? So it says no such file or directory. Now again, if I say only FFmpeg, then also it's going to fail. So if I save this, say deploy, and if I say test, so it says FFmpeg command not found, right? So that's where lambda layer is working perfectly fine, right? Click on layers, add a layer, custom layer, FFmpeg version 1, say add. So now we have successfully created the lambda layer for FFmpeg package, and we are successfully able to run FFmpeg within lambda function, right? Now let's have a look at one of the example. Now let's try to transcode MP3 file to WAV file, that is WAV, right? Now if I go back to S3 management console, and within this bucket I have one MP3 file that is English_audio.mp3. Right now I want to transcode this MP3 file to WAV file, that is WAV, using FFmpeg, that is also within the lambda function, right? So here I have this code, and I had pushed this code to AWS tutorial code repository, right? I will post the link of this code in the video description. So I'm going to copy this, copy, go back to lambda function, and I'm going to paste it over here, save this, say deploy. Now here we are using Boto 3, right? So the reason we are using Boto 3 is to download the file from the S3 bucket and upload the transcoded file back to the S3 bucket, right? So on line number 13, we are defining the Boto 3 client of the S3 service, followed by on line number 16, we are defining the bucket name from which bucket we want to download. So in my case, it's going to be Recognite, and then the name of the file that we want to download. So in my case, it's English_audio.mp3, English_audio.mp3. And then on line number 20, we are defining lambda file path, right? So where we want to download, so that's going to be the /temp/ the file name, followed by on line number 21 lambda output file path. So basically this is the path of the transcoded file. So I will simply say, maybe copy, I will say transcoded English_audio.wav, right? And on line number 24, we are downloading the file from the bucket, which file, that is English_audio.mp3, and where we are storing that file is basically /temporary directory, right? And then on line number 27, we are leveraging FFmpeg, right, from the lambda layers, that is /opt/FFmpeg dir path. So in my case, I have created FFmpeg lib directory, right, followed by the FFmpeg, that is the static build, followed by -i, and the input file, followed by the output file. And finally, once it is transcoded, we are uploading that file back to the same bucket, that is on line number 30, right? So let me save this, say deploy. And before we move on, we need to increase the timeout of this lambda function, right? So click on edit, I will say 1 minute, and save this. Now let's click on test. And as you can see, lambda function ran successfully. If I click on details, then here we have the outcome, right, the processing output. And if I go back to S3 management console and reload over here, Then as you can see, we have the file saying transcode underscore English underscore audio.wav, right? And the type is wav, and the size has been increased to 37 MB from 6 MB, right? So guys, that is how you can use FFmpeg within lambda function using lambda layers, right? And guys, that's it for this tutorial. Until that time, if you want me to do tutorial on any use case or service, then please leave them below and I will try my best to come up with a tutorial as soon as possible. And if you have any queries or comments, then again please leave them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.